Hi, welcome to the World Gut Project. My name is Carrie. This is all about being vegan on the low FODMAP diet for irritable bowel syndrome. And today I wanted to give you some of my top tips for actually doing the FODMAP ReChallenges and fitting it into your busy schedule. So at the moment I'm working pretty hard on making the next bundle for the Your World Gut Project membership site, and it's basically all about the ReChallenges. It's about kind of exactly how you do it, there's some video recipes, kind of support, blah blah blah, making sense of the results. And like once you've got your mind around what you need to do, why you're doing it and how to make sense of it, the actual really hard part is doing it. Because obviously when you're testing high FODMAP foods, the goal is to notice symptoms that you experience. And there's certain times, I think, in everyone's life when you really don't want to be experiencing symptoms. Like, I don't know, a big social event. For me, like, I teach private yoga sometimes, and if I'm in a small room with just one other person, I really don't want to discover then that a certain fructan gives me diarrhoea and flatulence. Like, that would just be hideously embarrassing. So there's lots of reasons to delay doing the challenges, and unless you kind of really take some active steps to fit it in, it can end up being, well, not happening. And actually I've really dragged my feet on challenging the galactose oligosaccharides, so I'm making a commitment that with the people in the bundle I'm going to be kind of live vlogging for the 17th, 18th and 19th of May. I'll be doing the challenge then. Obviously after that I will kind of edit it into a nice video so you can really see what the challenging process looks like in real life. But yeah, if those dates work for you, please join me, we can do it together and be really motivated. So that's the first tip actually, just finding some accountability and making a commitment with someone else. So yeah, I've said it now, it's happening. Yeah, I'm going to give you some more tips. So the first tip, disregarding that accountability part, is to actually sit down with your calendar about 2 months in advance and actually visually see when you have 3 days that you can do. So first I would mark off all the days that are like absolute no's, I am not testing a FODMAP on those days, and then see when you have 3 days in a row where you can. And because obviously the challenge doesn't just involve 3 days of challenging, you have to make sure you're super strict low FODMAP before that and you don't have any kind of mishaps, so you need to know in advance to then do it, and obviously you want to buy in the food and everything like that. And by doing this you can also see kind of which FODMAPs would be appropriate to test at which times. So something like fructose, for example, is really easy to test kind of on the go because you can just have a kind of pre-measured portion of mango, whereas another one you probably want to have a cooked meal. So you can kind of plan ahead in that sense as well and make sure you've got a lovely ripe mango ready to go for those days you can do fructose. The second tip is obviously as you're being really careful in the build up to the actual challenge days, you're going to want to be super strict. And this is something I have done, and it's basically letting go of the fear of missing out on social occasions in regards to food. So if you're going out for dinner with your friends or just catching up for some brunch, or people are having dinner but there's nothing you can really definitely safely eat, just have something like chips or a side salad or even just a drink and just tell people, be really open about the fact like, oh, I'm having to be super strict because I'm going to be doing a challenge soon, and everyone will go, oh okay, that's fine, and it's not an issue. But if you don't tell people and then you try and have a really small, not very nice meal to not mess things up, like either you'll crack and then have something a bit less kind of guaranteed low FODMAP and potentially lose that opportunity you had of 3 days to do the challenge, or you feel really embarrassed and it's awkward. So tell people what you're doing and then let go of the fear of missing out and pick something very safe when you're eating in social situations. Or have people around for dinner. I've done this where people have said, oh, let's go out for dinner on Tuesday, and I'll think, oh, I wanted to do a challenge over the weekend. Do you guys want to come around for dinner? And I'll just make something for myself that's strictly low FODMAP, and normally they can have it too, and it works for everyone. So the third kind of final tip I wanted to give is that because you've got this overview of when you can potentially do the FODMAPs, you can also say, well, on these 3 days it looks all good, although I've got quite an important meeting on the morning of the second day. So actually what you can do is eat your challenge food after the meeting. So say 2 o'clock, you know you're just going to be at your desk, and if you need to nip to the loo, it's fine and it won't be that embarrassing. So for the whole of that challenge, you can eat that FODMAP meal at 2, because you have that oversight and what's the word? Because you have that foresight, you can then plan the time you have the FODMAP. So it's important you have it around the same time, but by planning in advance, you can then like actually do it. Because if you didn't do that, if you thought I have to have it kind of in the morning, you then might not do those 3 days challenge, and then you've missed the opportunity again. So there's my tips. I hope it was helpful, and if you have any because you have managed to really quickly go through the challenges, please share them, because it is tricky fitting into your life. If you're a low FODMAP vegan or you have irritable bowel syndrome, please subscribe. I post a video every Sunday, and yeah, I'll see you then. Bye!